This is lesson 7.4, division properties of exponents. Your objective is to divide powers with the same base and to raise a quotient to a power. You can use properties of exponents to divide powers with the same base. Dividing powers with the same base. When you divide powers with the same base, subtract the exponents. For example, if we have 2 to the 6th power divided by 2 to the 2nd power, we can rewrite this as 2 with the exponent 6 minus 2, since we're just subtracting the exponents, and we get 2 to the 4th power. What is a simplified form of each expression? Here we have x to the 5 over 2 power divided by x to the 2nd power. Since the bases are the same and it's division, we can just subtract the exponents. We get 5 over 2 minus 2, and that simplifies to x to the 1/2 power. Here we have m to the 2nd power times n to the 4th power. That quantity divided by m to the 5th power times n to the 3rd power. So we'll work with each variable separately. So we have m to the 2nd power over m to the 5th power. That means I do 2 minus 5. And then n to the 4th power divided by n to the 3rd power is just 4 minus 3. Well, that simplifies to m to the negative 3 power and n to the 1st power, which is just n. But m to the negative 3 power, we can rewrite it using positive exponents as 1 over m to the 3rd power. So simplified, our expression becomes n over m to the 3rd power. You can also use repeated multiplication to simplify a quotient raised to a power. Raising a quotient to a power. When you raise a quotient to a power, raise the numerator and the denominator to the power and then simplify. So we have 3/5 to the 3rd power. I can rewrite that as 3 to the 3rd power divided by 5 to the 3rd power, which equals 27 over 125. Here's a problem. We have z to the 2 over 3 power divided by 5, and that entire quantity is being raised to the 3rd power. Since we have a quotient being raised to a power, we can write each the numerator and the denominator separately raised to that power. So we have z to the 2 over 3 power raised to the 3rd power over 5 to the 3rd power. The numerator, since it's a power being raised to a power, we just multiply 2/3 times 3, which simplifies to 2. So we get z over z to the 2nd power in the numerator. And on the bottom, we have 5 to the 3rd power, which simplifies to 125. You can write an expression of the form a over b to the negative nth power using positive exponents. Well, a over b to the negative nth power, since it's a negative exponent, we can rewrite that as 1 over a over b to the nth power in the denominator. Using the quotient to a power, we can rewrite this as a to the n over b to the n in the denominator. Well, dividing by a fraction just means multiplying by the reciprocal, so we can rewrite this fractional expression as 1 times b to the nth power over a to the nth power. Now we can use that power property where we can rewrite b to the nth power over a to the nth power as b over a to the nth power. So basically, when you see a fraction being raised to a negative exponent, you can rewrite this as the reciprocal of that fraction raised to the positive power for all non-zero numbers a and b and positive integers n. So what is a simplified form of this quantity, 2x to the 6th power over y to the 4th power, being raised to the negative 3 power? Well, remember, we can rewrite this as the reciprocal, y to the 4th power over 2x to the 6th power, being raised to the positive, the opposite of this, to the 3rd power. Now I can simplify even further. We can use the quotient power, so I have y to the 4th power being raised to the 3rd power, 2x to the 6th power being raised to the 3rd power, and then now I'm going to simplify each of the numerator and denominator separately. So we have y to the 4th power being raised to a 3rd power, power to a power, multiply the two numbers, I get y to the 12th power. In my denominator, I have a product being raised to a power, so I have 2 to the 3rd power times x to the 18th power, because 6 times 3 is 18, and I get y to the 12th power over 8 times x to the 18th power. Here are some sample problems. Let's simplify y to the 3/4 power over y to the 1/2 power. Since these have the same base and it's a quotient, I just subtract the two fractions. So I get y to the 3/4 minus 1/2, which simplifies to y to the 1/4 power. Here I have 4 over x to the 3rd power, this entire quantity being raised to the 2nd power. So I can rewrite that as 4 to the 2nd power over x to the 3rd power. And this quantity is being squared. So that is just 16 over x to the 6th power. Here we have a negative exponent, a quotient being raised to a negative exponent, which means I can use the reciprocal 5b over a and raise that quantity to the 2nd power. Now I can split this up to simplify it even further. I have 5 to the 2nd power times b to the 2nd power over a to the 2nd power. And that simplifies to 25 b to the 2nd power over a to the 2nd power.